Question 147. Which of the following is the customer's responsibility when it comes to AWS shared responsibility model? And the options are A. Delivering efficient servers, B. Optimizing workload and resource utilization, C. Sourcing renewable power, D. Achieve high server utilization rates. And the correct answer is option B. Optimizing workload and resource utilization. Explanation. With respect to AWS shared responsibility model for cloud sustainability, AWS is responsible for the sustainability of the cloud, while customers are responsible for sustainability in the cloud. Following are the responsibilities. Number 1, AWS responsibility, that are delivering efficient servers, shared infrastructure, water stewardship, sourcing renewable power. Number 2, customer responsibility, that is optimizing workloads and resource utilization. Number 2, minimizing the total resources required to be deployed for workloads. Option A is incorrect, as delivering efficient servers is AWS responsibility and not customer responsibility. Option C is incorrect, as sourcing renewable power is AWS responsibility and not customer responsibility. Option D is incorrect, as achieving high server utilization rates is AWS responsibility and not customer responsibility. Next question. Which of the following is not a security design principle in the AWS well-architected framework? And the options are A. Apply security only at the edge of the network, B. Protect data at rest and in transit, C. Implement a strong identity foundation, D. Enable traceability. And the correct answer is option A. Apply security only at the edge of the network. Explanation. Security needs to be applied at all network layers, like edge of network, VPC, all instances and application with the VPC. Applying security controls at the edge of the network is not an efficient security control and against security design principles. As per AWS well-architected framework, the following are the design principles for security in the cloud. Number 1. Implement a strong identity foundation. 2. Enable traceability. 3. Apply security at all layers. 4. Automate security best practices. 5. Protect data in transit and at rest. 6. Keep people away from data. 7. Prepare for security events. Options B, C, and D are incorrect, as these are part of security design principles that need to be followed while implementing security controls in the cloud. Next question. There is a requirement to host a set of servers in the cloud for just 3 months. They must be highly available and cost-effective. These cannot be interrupted. What type of instances would be appropriate? And the options are A. Spot instances, B. On demand, C. No upfront cost reserved, D. Partial upfront cost reserved. And the correct answer is option B. On demand. Explanation. Since the requirement is just for 3 months and the instances cannot be interrupted during processing, the most suitable type is on-demand instances. Next question. What is the key difference between an availability zone and an edge location? And the options are A. An availability zone is a grouping of AWS resources in a specific region. An edge location is a specific resource within the AWS region. B. An availability zone is an isolated location within an AWS region, whereas an edge location will deliver cached content to the closest location to reduce latency. C. Edge locations are used as control stations for AWS resources. D. None of the above. And the correct answer is option B. An availability zone is an isolated location within an AWS region, whereas an edge location will deliver cached content to the closest location to reduce latency. Next question. Which of the following security services helps protect VPCs and subnets by providing a virtual firewall? And the options are A. Amazon Guard Duty, B. Subnet groups, C. Security groups, D. Network ACL. And the correct answer is option D, Network ACL. Explanation. A Network Access Control List (ACL) is an optional layer of security for your VPC that acts as a firewall for controlling traffic in and out of one or more subnets. You might set up network ACLs with rules similar to your security groups in order to add an additional layer of security to your VPC. Option A is incorrect. Amazon Guard Duty is a threat detection service that continuously monitors your AWS accounts and workloads for malicious activity and delivers detailed security findings for visibility and remediation. Option B is incorrect. A subnet group is a collection of subnets, typically private, that you can designate for your clusters running in an Amazon Virtual Private Cloud environment. Subnet group cannot provide virtual firewall capabilities. Option C is incorrect. A security group acts as a virtual firewall at resource level, controlling the traffic that is allowed to reach and leave the resources that is associated with. It cannot protect VPCs and subnets. Next question. How can the cost be reduced in AWS billing if you have multiple accounts managed by AWS organizations? And the options are A. Combined billing, B. Consolidated billing, volume discounts, C. Costs are automatically reduced for multiple accounts by AWS, D. It is not possible to reduce cost with multiple accounts. And the correct answer is option B. Consolidated billing, volume discounts. Explanation. You can use the consolidated billing feature to consolidate payment for multiple Amazon Web Services accounts or multiple Amazon International Services Private Limited accounts within your organization by designating one of them to be the pair account. For billing purposes, the consolidated billing feature of AWS organizations treats all the accounts in the organization as one account. This means that all accounts in the organization can receive the hourly cost benefit of reserved instances that are purchased by any other account. Option A is incorrect because combined billing is itself the functionality of consolidated billing. Options C and D are just the distractors. Next question. You have a web application hosted in an EC2 instance that needs to send notifications based on events. Which of the below services can assist in sending notifications? And the options are A. AWS SWF, B. AWS SNS, C. AWS SQS, D. AWS SES. And the correct answer is option B, AWS SNS. Explanation. Amazon Simple Notification Service is a web service that enables applications and users and devices to send and receive notifications from the cloud instantly. Supported protocols include Number 1. HTTP, delivery of JSON encoded message via HTTP post. 2. HTTPS, delivery of JSON encoded message via HTTPS post. 3. Email, delivery of message via SMTP. 4. Email JSON, delivery of JSON encoded message via SMTP. 5. SMS, delivery of message via SMS. Option A is incorrect. Amazon Simple Workflow Service is a web service that makes it easy to coordinate work across distributed application components. SWF involves in coordinating various tasks such as managing inter-task dependencies, scheduling, and concurrency in accordance with the logical flow of the application. Option C is incorrect. Amazon Simple Queue Service is a fully managed message queuing service that enables you to decouple and scale microservices, distributed systems, and serverless applications. Option D is incorrect. Amazon SES belongs to transactional email category of the tech stack, while Amazon SNS can be primarily classified as push events to various resources and protocols. Next question. Which AWS well-architected pillar emphasizes using the minimum hardware for resources deployed on the AWS cloud? And the options are A. Reliability pillar, B. Performance efficiency pillar, C. Sustainability pillar, D. Operational excellence pillar. And the correct answer is option C, sustainability pillar. Explanation. Sustainability pillar focuses on minimizing environment impact for running resources in AWS cloud. With respect to hardware needs, one of the best practices is to use minimum optimum amount of hardware for running resources in AWS cloud. Option A is incorrect, as the reliability pillar focuses on how quickly a resource recovers from a failure. Option B is incorrect, as the performance efficiency pillar focuses on selecting optimized resource size for best performance. Option D is incorrect, as the operational excellence pillar focuses on running and monitoring resources to meet business needs. It includes automating changes and defining SOPs for daily operations. Next question. Which of the following are benefits of the AWS Relational Database Service RDS? Select two options. And the options are A. Automated patches and backups. B. DB owner can resize the capacity accordingly. C. It allows you to store unstructured data. D. It allows you to store NoSQL data. And the correct answer is option A. Automated patches and backups. And option B. DB owner can resize the capacity accordingly. Explanation. Amazon Relational Database Service makes it easy to set up, operate, and scale a relational database in the cloud. It provides cost-efficient and resizable capacity while automating time-consuming administration tasks such as hardware provisioning, database setup, patching, and backups. It frees you to focus on your applications, so you can give them the fast performance, high availability, security, and compatibility they need. Options C and D are incorrect. RDS is a relational database, so relational database will not support unstructured and NoSQL data. Next question. AWS IAM recommends a list of best practices for managing users and their permissions. Which of the IAM practices should be followed? Select two options. And the options are A. An IAM user should be given default access to all services for being able to develop and deliver applications quickly. B. Users should be provided both passwords and access keys within the AWS environment. C. Within AWS, services should use roles for accessing other services. D. For cross-account access, it is best to share the access keys when one account needs to access services of another account. E. When creating an AWS account, it is a best practice to create an IAM user and use that account rather than using the root account. And the correct answer is option C. Within AWS, services should use roles for accessing other services. And option E. When creating an AWS account, it is a best practice to create an IAM user and use that account rather than using the root account. Explanation. Option C is correct. Roles provide temporary access to AWS services and they don't require to share the access keys. A role that is created may be assigned a definite set of permissions for accessing different services. The service that uses the role actually assumes the role with which it can perform actions on another service. This way, we can induce granular permissions as well as prevent long-lived access keys from being compromised. Option E is correct. Root accounts that are created should have their access keys locked to prevent compromising them. Root accounts have complete access privileges to access different AWS resources. The best practice will be create an IAM user, assign required permissions, and log in as that user for accessing AWS services. Option A is incorrect. The principle of grant least privilege suggests providing least and granular access to any user for accessing AWS services. This will help enhance security of the system and prevent users from performing malicious or accidental tasks within the AWS environment that may compromise the system. Option B is incorrect. It's always best to see what kind of access the user requires. If a user don't use the command line interface, it's best to avoid giving him access to access keys. Similarly, if an user only uses the CLI for development, he should be prohibited from accessing the AWS admin console using a password. Option D is incorrect. Cross-account access are scenarios where users in one account would like to access services of other accounts. E.g., an user may use AWS partner solutions to interact with the customer's account for monitoring it or do some orchestration. Access keys are long-lived credentials for which the AWS partner must ensure to manage those keys by rotating them frequently to avoid them from being compromised. Roles defined with temporary access permissions when given to the user for accessing the customer's account will be a best practice here without having to provide access keys. Next question. A distributed application processes large volumes of data periodically across multiple Amazon EC2 instances. It is designed to recover gracefully from Amazon EC2 instance failures. Your goal is to accomplish this task as cost-effectively as possible. Which of the following will meet your needs? And the options are A. Spot instances, B. Reserved instances, C. Dedicated instances, D. On-demand instances. And the correct answer is option A. Spot instances. Explanation. When you think of cost effectiveness, you can either have to choose a spot or reserved instances. Now, when you have a regular processing job, the best is to use spot instances. Since your application is designed to recover gracefully from Amazon EC2 instance failures, there is no issue even if you lose the spot instances. Options B, C, D are incorrect. None of the other instance types are cost-effective for non-critical a use case, especially batch-like process. Next question. A streaming processing solution is needed to process and analyze real-time streaming data using SQL. Which service would be the easiest and most appropriate to meet this requirement? And the options are A. Amazon Kinesis Data Streams, B. Amazon Kinesis Data Analytics, C. Amazon Kinesis Client Library, D. Amazon Kinesis Data Firehose. And the correct answer is option B. Amazon Kinesis Data Analytics. Explanation. Amazon Kinesis Data Analytics is the easiest way to transform and analyze streaming data in real time using Apache Flink. With Amazon Kinesis Data Analytics for SQL applications, you can process and analyze streaming data using standard SQL. The service enables you to quickly author and run powerful SQL code against streaming sources to perform time series analytics, feed real-time dashboards, and create real-time metrics. Option A is incorrect because Amazon Kinesis Data Streams is not an AWS service to build analytics applications. It is an ingestion service that provides data streams to consumers, that is, analytic applications. Option C is incorrect because Amazon Kinesis Client Library is a service to process and query streaming data using SQL. KCL is more complicated than AWS Kinesis Data Analytics. Option D is incorrect because Amazon Kinesis Data Firehose is a service for loading data streams and not creating SQL-based applications. Next question. Which of the following AWS services can developers use to deploy and manage web applications most easily? And the options are A. Amazon EKS, B. AWS Elastic Beanstalk, C. Amazon EC2, D. Elastic Container Service. And the correct answer is option B. AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Explanation. AWS Elastic Beanstalk makes it easier for developers to deploy and manage web applications in the AWS cloud quickly. Developers simply upload their application, and Elastic Beanstalk automatically handles the deployment details of capacity provisioning, load balancing, auto-scaling, and application health monitoring. Option A is incorrect. Amazon Elastic Kubernetes Service is a managed Kubernetes service that makes it easy for you to run Kubernetes on AWS and on-premises. With EKS, you still need to account for a fair amount of work. Option C is incorrect. Amazon EC2 is the AWS compute platform. Users are responsible to make all customization on EC2. Option D is incorrect. Amazon Elastic Container Service is a highly scalable container management service. ECS help to deploy the containers, but other configurations like capacity provisioning, load balancing, auto scaling are all customer responsibility. Next question. A company is deploying a two-tier web application on AWS. The company wants to store the most frequently used data in memory to improve response time for the application. Which AWS service meets the company's needs? And the options are A. Amazon Cloud Search, B. AWS S3, C. Amazon ElastiCache, D. Amazon DynamoDB. And the correct answer is option C. Amazon ElastiCache. Explanation. Amazon ElastiCache is a fully managed in-memory caching service supporting flexible, real-time use cases. You can use ElastiCache for caching, which accelerates application and database performance, or as a primary data store for use cases that don't require durability, like session stores, gaming leaderboards, streaming, and analytics. ElastiCache is compatible with Redis and Memcached. Option A is incorrect. Amazon Cloud Search is a managed service in the AWS cloud that makes it simple and cost-effective to set up, manage, and scale a search solution for your website or application. Amazon Cloud Search supports 34 languages and popular search features such as highlighting, autocomplete, and geospatial search. Option B is incorrect. S3 is an object storage through a web service interface. Option D is incorrect. Amazon DynamoDB is a fully managed serverless, key-value NoSQL database. DynamoDB offers built-in security, continuous backups, automated multi-region application, in-memory caching, and data export tools. Thank you for watching this video. Buy our AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner CLF-C01 premium questions with 50% off. Check link in the description.